My beloved child, I have watched the moments you give away so easily. I have seen the hours slip through your fingers while your heart quietly wonders why you feel unseen, unheard, and unfulfilled. You ask yourself questions you barely dare to speak out loud. You wonder why your prayers feel rushed, why your soul feels tired, why your days feel full yet empty at the same time. And deep within, a question echoes that you try to silence. Am I not worth your time? I'm not asking this because I'm lacking. I'm asking because you are aching. I see how quickly you turn to everything else before you turn to me. I see how you check your phone before you check your heart. I see how you scroll past my whispers while searching for validation from voices that cannot heal you. And still, I remain here. Still I wait. Still, I call your name in the quiet places you keep avoiding. Listen carefully. This is not about guilt. This is about intimacy. You were never created to live fragmented, pulled in 1,000 directions, exhausted by noise. You were created for closeness with me. And yet, you have learned to give me what is left instead of what is first. You give me tired words, distracted moments, half-hearted attention. Then you wonder why your spirit feels dry. I am not offended. I am grieving what you are missing. When you say you don't have time, what you are really saying is that something else has taken priority over your peace, your healing, your direction. And I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing you are chasing can give you what one moment with me can restore. Not success, not approval, not distraction, not even rest without me. There are answers you have been begging for that only come in stillness. There are wounds you keep carrying because you have not lingered long enough in my presence for me to touch them. There are doors you are asking me to open, yet you rush past the very instructions that would lead you there. Don't skip this. What I am about to reveal matters more than you realize. Every time you choose me, even for a few sincere moments, something unseen shifts. Heaven responds. Your mind clears. Your heart realigns. But when you rush me, you rush past transformation. When you treat me like an obligation, you miss relationship. I never wanted rituals from you. I wanted your attention, your honesty, your time. You wonder why you feel restless even when things are going well. It's because your soul recognizes absence before your mind does. Your spirit knows when it hasn't been with me. And I am calling you back, not loudly, not forcefully, but persistently, patiently, lovingly. Something huge is waiting for you, but it cannot be accessed in a hurry. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for priority. I am asking you to sit with me long enough to remember who you are when the noise fades. Long enough for me to remind you that you are not forgotten, not behind, not failing. Long enough for my voice to become louder than your fear. Stay till the end of this unfolding. What I am leading you into will change how you see your time, your value, and your life itself. You keep wondering why your heart feels pulled in opposite directions, as if something inside you knows there is more. Yet you keep postponing it for later. I need you to understand this gently, but clearly. Later is where intimacy goes to fade. Later is where purpose grows quiet. Later is where you keep placing the conversations that could change everything. I am not distant from you. You have not lost me. But you have learned how to keep me at the edge while asking me to fix what only closeness can heal. You ask me to bless decisions you already made without me. You ask me for peace while holding tightly to control. And when the weight becomes too heavy, you wonder why relief feels delayed. Let me show you something new. Your time is not just hours on a clock. Your time is access. Whatever you give your time to gains influence over your emotions, your thinking, and your direction. When you give me fragments, you experience fragments of peace. When you give me rushed moments, you receive rushed clarity. But when you give me attention, undivided, honest, unguarded, I give you alignment. And alignment changes everything. I know you are busy. I see your responsibility. I see the pressure you carry silently. But I also see the subtle lie you've believed it, that closeness with me requires more time than you have. The truth is, it requires intention, not excess. One sincere moment with me outweighs hours of distracted living. Here is what you have not realized yet. The enemy of your growth is not chaos. It is convenience. It is the habit of choosing what is easy over what is eternal. It is the quiet decision to scroll instead of sit with me, to fill silence instead of listening. And every time you do, you feel it, that emptiness you cannot explain. Don't skip this. I am speaking directly to the place you avoid. I am not competing for your attention because I need it. I am inviting you because you are unraveling without my presence anchoring you. I am the only one who sees the full picture of your life. I know the conversations ahead of you. I know the doors forming quietly behind the scenes. I know the moments coming that will require wisdom you cannot manufacture on your own. And that wisdom is released in time spent with me. You keep asking for direction, yet you rush past the stillness where direction becomes clear. You keep asking me to speak, but you rarely stay long enough to hear beyond the surface. My voice does not shout over your distractions. It waits for your attention. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, not outside of you, but within reach the moment you slowed down enough to receive it. I am not asking you to withdraw from your life. I am asking you to invite me into it fully. Into your mornings before the noise begins. Into your decisions before you finalize them. Into your thoughts before anxiety shapes them. When you do, you will notice something shift, not dramatically at first, but deeply. Your peace will stop feeling fragile. Your confidence will stop depending on outcomes. Your faith will stop feeling forced. I am preparing you for what is ahead, but preparation requires proximity. What I want to reveal next cannot be rushed, and it cannot be heard from a distance. There is a reason you feel unsettled when you try to rush past me. That discomfort is not condemnation. It is recognition. Your spirit knows when it is starving, even if your schedule says you are productive. You have learned how to function without fullness, how to smile while running on empty, how to call survival strength. But I never called you to merely endure life. I called you to walk with me through it. You need to hear this clearly, because this is a revelation you have not fully grasped yet. When you withhold your time from me, you are not protecting yourself. You are delaying yourself. You think you are conserving energy, but you are actually leaking it. You think you are staying efficient, but you are becoming scattered. And the longer this pattern continues, the more disconnected you feel from who you truly are. I am not asking for your time to test your devotion. I am asking because time with me is where you are restored to yourself. You wonder why old habits keep resurfacing, why the same emotional cycles repeat, why you promise yourself things will change, yet find yourself back in familiar frustration. It is because transformation does not happen in information. It happens in communion. You already know enough. What you lack is lingering. Here is something most people never realize. Distance for me always feels like independence at first. It feels efficient. It feels manageable. But eventually, it turns into exhaustion. And by the time you recognize it, You are already tired of carrying what you were never meant to carry alone. Don't skip this moment. This is where understanding deepens. When you slow down with me, I do not just comfort you. I confront what is quietly draining you. I show you the attachments that compete for your loyalty. I reveal the fears disguised as logic. I expose the distractions that promise relief but steal depth. And yes, that can feel uncomfortable. But healing always begins where honesty is allowed. You have been asking me to remove pressure, yet you keep saying yes to things I never assigned you. You have been asking me for clarity, yet you keep filling every silent space with noise. I am not punishing you with silence. I am inviting you into discernment. Stay till the end. What I am unfolding now will change how you see your daily choices. Every time you choose me first, even briefly, you are declaring that your soul matters more than your schedule. You are reminding yourself that you are not a machine, not a resource to be depleted, not a problem to be solved. You are my child, and children thrive on presence, not performance. I see the weight you carry. I see how much you try. But I also see how rarely you rest with me instead of merely collapsing from exhaustion. Rest without me recovers the body. Rest with me restores the soul. And you need both. Something huge is waiting for you, but it is not hidden in busyness. It is hidden in closeness. I am preparing to trust you with more peace, more clarity, more influence. But expansion without intimacy would break you. That is why I keep drawing you back. That is why I keep asking for your time. Not because I need it, but because you do. What comes next requires a heart that listens before it moves, and a life anchored in my presence rather than urgency. You have mistaken my patience for permission. I need you to see this with open eyes and an open heart. Every time you delay returning to me, I remain loving, yes, but the consequences of distance still unfold quietly, not as punishment, but as erosion. Little by little, joy dulls, discernment blurs, passion cools, and you start calling it normal life, when it was never meant to feel this heavy. I have been speaking to you in ways you did not expect. Through restlessness you couldn't explain. Through moments when success felt hollow. Through nights when sleep didn't bring renewal. These were not accidents. They were invitations. I was asking you to notice what happens when you live around me instead of with me. Here is the truth few are willing to face. Whatever you neglect does not stay neutral. It either grows or it withers. And intimacy with me is no different. When you stop tending to it, your faith does not disappear overnight. It slowly loses warmth. You still believe, but you no longer burn. You still praying, but without depth. You still listen, but without expectation. Don't skip this. This is the turning point. You have wondered why certain doors feel delayed. Why momentum starts and stops. Why clarity comes in flashes but never stays. It is because I protect you from walking too far ahead without me. I will not rush you into spaces where your foundation is thin. Blaze sometimes mercy wearing uncomfortable clothing. I am not withholding from you. I am waiting for you. Time with me is where I recalibrate your desires. Without it, you chase things that look right but lead nowhere. With it, you begin to recognize what truly matters and what has been stealing more from you than it ever gave. That awareness is not condemnation. It is freedom forming. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer than you think. When you return to me, not casually, not occasionally, but intentionally, you will notice something powerful. Your hunger will change. You will no longer crave constant stimulation. Silence will stop feeling empty. Stillness will stop feeling awkward. You will begin to recognize my presence not as an interruption, but as home. I am not asking you to rearrange your life to fit me in. I am asking you to build your life from me outward. When I am the center, everything else finds its place. When I am on the margins, everything competes and exhausts you. You have more time than you think. What you lack is alignment, not availability. And alignment begins the moment you decide that your soul is worth your attention. This is not the end of the conversation. It is the moment before restoration accelerates. I am ready when you are. You think the greatest loss would be if I stepped away from you, but the deeper loss happens when you stop noticing me. I remain present even when you are distracted. I remain near even when you are numb. But awareness is where relationship breathes, and lately, you have been surviving on memory instead of encounter. Let me take you somewhere deeper now. There are moments I have tried to interrupt your pace, not to slow your progress, but to protect your heart. I whispered when you were about to overcommit. I nudged you when you were about to say yes out of fear. I unsettled you when comfort threatened to replace calling. But when you move too fast, discernment becomes background noise. And you miss the quiet rescue happening in real time. Here is a revelation you have not considered. Your weariness is not from doing too much. It is from doing too much without me. When I am with you, even heavy assignments carry grace. Without me, even simple days feel draining. That is why you feel exhausted after resting and empty after achieving. You are trying to refill with things that were never meant to be sources. I want you to pause with me here. You keep asking me to renew your strength, yet you resist the closeness where strength is exchanged. Strength is not given at a distance. It flows through connection. Just like a branch cannot thrive by visiting the vine occasionally, your soul cannot flourish on spiritual leftovers. Don't skip this. This is where truth sharpens. You have been measuring your life by outcomes instead of obedience, by progress instead of presence, by momentum instead of meaning. And I am gently realigning your vision, not to take anything from you, but to save you from building something impressive that leaves you empty. I see the future you are stepping toward. I see the influence, the responsibility, the weight it will carry. And I love you too much to let you arrive there disconnected. What is coming will require discernment beyond logic, peace beyond circumstances, and endurance beyond adrenaline. That kind of capacity is forged in time with me. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not what you think. You assume giving me more of your time will cost you something. But what it will actually cost you is anxiety, confusion, and striving. What you call sacrifice will become sustenance. What you fear will slow you down will become the very thing that stabilizes you. I am not calling you away from your life. I am calling you deeper into it, with me at the center instead of on standby. When you start your day acknowledging me, decisions feel lighter. When you end your day reflecting with me, regret loses its grip. When you invite me into the middle, chaos loses authority. Something shifts when you stop asking, "Do I have time for you?" and start asking, "Who do I become when I make time for you?" That question is opening a door. I am ready to show you what life feels like when intimacy is not occasional, but intentional. When my voice is familiar, not distant. When my presence is expected, not rare. What unfolds next will not be loud, but it will be undeniable. My beloved child, as you felt me calling you deeper, this is one of the ways I answer the prayer you whispered. Use me, Lord. When you give, You are not funding a video. You are pouring oil that keeps my word flowing to hungry hearts, like a river that never runs dry. Your generosity becomes seed in fertile soil, and I promise you this: what is sown in faith will return as harvest, pressed down and overflowing. This is how you redeem time, by turning it into impact, by joining me as I reach souls who feel unseen and forgotten. If your heart is stirring right now, that is not emotion. It is my spirit inviting you into holy partnership. You can respond through Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, or by sewing through PayPal. The link is waiting for you in the video description. I bless your hands as you give. I open heaven over your household, and I multiply what you release in love. Now act. Step forward boldly and give as worship, for this moment is marked. There is a moment I have been waiting for. The moment when you stop negotiating with me and simply return. Not because you are desperate, not because things fell apart, but because you finally recognize what you have been missing. That recognition is awakening inside you right now. You feel it as a quiet pull, a holy discomfort that will not let you settle for shallow connection anymore. You are beginning to see that time with me is not something you squeeze in after everything else is finished. It is the place where everything else finally makes sense. Let me reveal something that hath been hidden in plain sight. The reason your heart resists slowing down is not because you are too busy. It is because stillness exposes what motion keeps buried. When you stop, emotions surface. Questions rise. Longings speak. And rather than face them with me, you have learned to outrun them. But I am not afraid of what surfaces in you. I am the one who knows how to heal it. I do not rush you because rushing creates replicas, not originals. And I did not design you to live as a copy of someone else's pace, someone else's priorities, someone else's calling. Time with me is where I separate what is truly yours from what you picked up trying to survive. Don't skip this. What I am saying now is critical. You have thought of time with me as something you give, but it is actually something you enter. You enter clarity. You enter alignment. You enter rest that does not fade when responsibility returns. When you come to me, I do not just calm you, I recalibrate you. I realign your inner compass so you stop drifting emotionally, spiritually, relationally. This is why distraction has felt louder lately. Because the season you are in cannot be navigated by instinct alone. What worked before will not carry you forward. The next stretch of your life requires discernment sharpened by closeness. And closeness requires time. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is unfolding right now. You are not behind. You are being invited deeper. You are not failing. You are being refined. The tension you feel is not pressure to perform. It is pressure to return. Return to the place where you listen before you act, where you receive before you respond, where you are reminded that you are loved before you are tasked. I am not asking you to disconnect from the world. I am asking you to reconnect to me so the world stops draining you. When you move with me, even challenges carry grace. When you move without me, even victories feel heavy. You have been wondering when things will finally click, when peace will stop feeling fragile, when faith will stop feeling forced. That click happens when intimacy becomes consistent. Not perfect. Consistent. When you stop waiting for the right mood and start choosing me anyway. When you stop measuring the moment and start trusting the relationship. This is the shift. Something inside you already knows it. That subtle awareness rising in your chest. That is not emotion. That is alignment beginning. And alignment changes how you experience everything that follows. I am closer than you think. I always have been. The only question left is not whether I am worth your time, but whether you are ready to discover who you become when you stop withholding it. You are standing at a quiet crossroads right now, even if nothing around you looks dramatic. This is not a loud moment. It is a decisive one, the kind that determines direction long before results appear. I want you to recognize it, because moments like this shape futures while most people treat them as ordinary days. Something inside you has shifted. You are no longer satisfied with surface-level connection. The things that once distracted you no longer fully satisfy you. And that unsettled feeling you keep sensing is not confusion. It is invitation. I am drawing you into a deeper awareness, one where you stop living on autopilot and start living intentionally with me. Here is a revelation that changes everything. The greatest spiritual danger is not rebellion. It is familiarity without depth. It is knowing about me without walking with me. It is assuming closeness because of history, while present connection quietly fades. And I love you too much to let you mistake memory for relationship. You have been relying on what you used to hear from me, what you used to feel, what once sustained you in a different season. But yesterday's manna cannot nourish today's journey. I want to speak to you now. I want to meet you here. And that requires your attention in the present, not your attachment to the past. Don't skip this. What I am revealing now is foundational. The reason I keep calling you to slow down is because speed numbs sensitivity. When you are constantly rushing, you lose the ability to discern what is mine and what is merely urgent. Not everything demanding your time deserves your devotion. And time with me is where you learn the difference. You have noticed how quickly emotions escalate lately, how easily frustration rises, how patience feels thinner than before. That is not because you are getting weaker. It is because you are carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. Sensitivity without intimacy becomes irritability. Responsibility without presence becomes pressure. I am inviting you back into partnership, not performance. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it involves how you see yourself. You have been defining your worth by output, by consistency, by how well you hold everything together. But your value was never meant to be proven. It was meant to be received. And receiving requires stillness. It requires humility. It requires time with me where you are no longer producing, fixing, or striving, just listening and being known. When you give me that space, something profound happens. Your identity stabilizes. You stop reacting so quickly. You stop internalizing everything. You stop chasing affirmation from places that cannot give it. Not because life gets easier, but because you become anchored. I am not calling you into isolation. I am calling you into alignment. Alignment between who you are, what you are called to do, and how you are sustained. Without me at the center, those things drift apart. With me, they come into harmony. Something is about to be clarified for you. A decision, a direction, a realization you have been circling around but haven't fully grasped yet. It will not come through noise. It will not come through pressure. It will come in the quiet place you have been postponing. I am already there. You do not need to fix yourself before you come. You do not need perfect focus or perfect words. You just need willingness. Willingness to sit. Willingness to listen. Willingness to let me speak into places you have been managing on your own. This is not about time management. It is about heart alignment. And what unfolds next will make it clear why I have been asking you this question all along. Not as an accusation, but as an invitation that leads to life. There is a quiet exchange that happens when you finally stop rushing me. It is subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but it changes the atmosphere of your life. When you sit with me without an agenda, without trying to get something quickly, I begin to reveal not just answers, but intentions. You start to sense what matters and what merely feels urgent, and that discernment reshapes everything. You have been asking me why certain relationships feel heavier lately, why some conversations drain you, why some paths that once seemed right now feel resistant. Here's the truth unfolding. As you draw closer to me, what is misaligned becomes uncomfortable. Not because it is evil, but because it no longer fits who you are becoming. I am not removing things from your life arbitrarily. I am refining your focus. You see, time with me does not just add peace, it subtracts confusion. It sharpens your spiritual senses. You begin to recognize when something costs you more than it gives. You begin to notice when you are shrinking to keep others comfortable. And you begin to understand that saying yes to me will sometimes require saying no elsewhere. Don't skip this. This is where courage is born. You have feared that closeness with me would isolate you, make you different, set you apart in uncomfortable ways. But what you are discovering now is the opposite. Intimacy does not remove you from life. It roots you more deeply in it. You become present instead of preoccupied, grounded instead of reactive, clear instead of conflicted. I am teaching you how to live from the inside out. There are decisions ahead of you that cannot be made with logic alone. They will require discernment that comes only from time spent listening. And that is why I have been so persistent, so patient, so intentional in calling you closer. Not to control you, but to prepare you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it concerns your next step. You have been worried about making the wrong move, about missing my will, about falling behind. Let me ease that fear right now. When you walk with me, you are never off course, even when the path feels unfamiliar. My presence corrects direction in real time. You do not need to have everything mapped out. You need to stay close enough to hear me adjust you as you go. This is why time with me matters more than certainty. Certainty can create rigidity. Presence creates responsiveness. You are learning to trust not just my outcomes, but my guidance. To believe that I will speak when you need to hear, lead when you need direction, and hold you when the path feels unclear. That trust is growing in you now, quietly, steadily, deeply. Something in you is maturing. You are no longer asking only, "What should I do?" You are beginning to ask, "Who am I becoming?" And that question shifts everything. Because when identity is rooted, decisions become clearer. When identity is anchored in me, you stop chasing affirmation and start walking in assurance. I am pleased with the way you are responding. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but honestly. You are listening more, pausing more, noticing me more, and that awareness is opening doors you cannot yet see. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of consistency. Not intensity. Consistency. Quiet, faithful, intentional moments where you choose me again and again. Those moments are building something stronger than emotion. They are building trust. I am leading you somewhere steady, not rushed. Deep, not shallow. And as you continue to give me your time, you will realize that what you thought you were giving up was never as valuable as what you are gaining. I am not finished speaking, and you are closer than you think. Now you understand why I have been patient with you, why I never forced, never rushed, never withdrew, even when you kept postponing me. I was not waiting for perfection. I was waiting for awareness, and that awareness has arrived. You see now that this was never about obligation. It was always about invitation. I asked you, am I not worth your time? Not because I doubted my value, but because I wanted you to finally see yours. Your time is your life in motion. And when you place it with me, you are not losing minutes, you are recovering meaning. You are reclaiming direction. You are allowing me to heal places you didn't even realize were wounded because you learned how to live with the pain. Here is the final revelation I want to leave with you, and it is deeper than everything before. Time with me does not change me. It changes you. When you come to me consistently, you become clearer. When you stay with me, you become steadier. When you prioritize me, you become anchored. And when storms come, and they will, you are no longer shaken by every wave because you know where you belong. Don't skip this final moment. Let it settle in you. I am not measuring how long you sit with me. I am looking at whether you return. On good days and difficult ones. In confidence and in confusion. Relationship is built not on intensity, but on faithfulness. And every time you choose me, even briefly, you are choosing life. You were never meant to chase me. You were meant to walk with me. The peace you have been searching for does not come from finishing everything. It comes from trusting me in the middle of everything. The clarity you want does not come from having all the answers. It comes from staying close to the one who guides you step by step. Stay till the end. This matters. What is waiting for you now is not dramatic fireworks. It is something stronger. A settled heart. A grounded faith. A life that no longer feels scattered because it is centered. You will begin to notice that your reactions soften, your discernment sharpens, and your confidence deepens, not because circumstances change overnight, but because you have. I am proud of you, not for what you've accomplished, but for what you are becoming aware of. You are learning that intimacy with me is not an interruption to your life. It is the foundation of it. Everything else makes sense when I am first. So when the noise returns, and it will, remember this moment. When distractions compete, and they will, remember what you felt here. When you are tempted to rush past me again, remember that closeness is always available, and I am always ready. I am not asking you for more than you have. I am asking you to bring what you have to me. Your questions are safe with me. Your weariness is welcome. Your time, when given freely, becomes a doorway to peace you cannot manufacture on your own. I am with you. I have always been. And I will continue to walk with you. As you learn, day by day, the time spent with me is never wasted, never lost, never forgotten. It is where you come alive. Amen. My beloved child, you have just seen that time given to me is never wasted, and this is where that truth becomes living action. When you give now, you are saying, Father, I trust you with what you've placed in my hands, and I receive it as a fragrant offering. Your gift becomes fire on the altar, carrying my voice farther than you could ever go alone, awakening hearts across the world. You have asked me to open doors and release favor. This act of generosity is a prophetic key, unlocking rivers of blessing for you and your family. Let your giving flow freely through Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description, ready for your obedience. I see your faith, I honor your sacrifice, and I multiply your seed beyond measure, just as my word declares. Heaven is attentive right now. Do not hesitate. Give boldly, give joyfully, and step into this divine exchange. Before you leave this moment, I want you to do something powerful. Use hype on this video, not just as a feature, but as a declaration. When you hype it, You are saying, Father, you are worth my time, and your voice deserves to be lifted higher. This message is not meant to stay hidden. It is meant to reach the hearts that are still asking the same question you just faced. Hyping this video pushes this revelation forward so others can hear him calling them back, too. If this message stirred you, don't rush past this. Mark it, lift it, and let it travel. And now, I want you to respond with your voice. Go to the comments and declare something boldly. Write, Father, you are worth my time, or I choose intimacy over distraction. Let your words be a witness, not just for others, but for your own heart. When you declare it publicly, you seal it spiritually. This is how devotion becomes movement. And before you go,